What's going on, my brothers? My name is Doobie Dobies, and I am a returning player for Deadman Mode All-Stars Season 3. And if you are watching this, you are most likely a captain for this event. And with the draft coming up soon, I wanted to make a video pretty much going through everything you need to know about me as a player, and essentially what to expect with having me on your team. I thought this would be a good idea before your communities force you to make tier lists and mock drafts and which players am I most likely to invite to a Sunday brunch list. Now before we get started, let me state that I am genuinely my biggest critic. The way I see it, the most important person to compete with is the one in the mirror, and knowing how to address the flaws is the only way to improve on them. So I will try to be as unbiased as possible on the pros and cons to give you captains the ability to come to your own conclusions. This is strictly informational. I've dissected this video into 3 categories. Number 1, how did I do in last year's Deadman Mode All-Stars? Number 2, what have I done since then leading up to this Deadman Mode All-Stars, including pros and cons? And number 3, what to expect from me this year, as well as my own expectations for this event. Number 1, the run. So last year, I was a Bodhi brawler, alongside Bodhi, Port Khazard, Eevescape, and Pip.
Engineer.
Get him.
Free stick nerd. Anyone have it?
For it?
Sick nerd frozen. Go. On sick nerd.
Bop him.
Oh my god!
Bop. You're out the game, mates.
I was able to get a 5 and 2 KD, including 0 deaths in multi and breaches, but also 0 kills in singles, as all of my kills were at breaches or multi sweeps. My primary role was Zenites, Barrows, and Sigil farming during the week, though I did also build a Void Waker from scratch without dying. In the finale, I was the second to last position, right before Bodhi, and I can honestly say I surprised myself with how good my performance was as a rookie. The nerves were held pretty well. I faced Dino, West Ham, Reese, Otoblock, Lake, and Torvesta, each fight managing to make it to the next person in rotation. Though I do want to give a massive shout out to Port Khazard here. He went absolutely nuclear at the number 3 position, and I never had to fight a full inventory versus anyone else in my position. I did still make it through each time, even fully finishing out the Titans, with Bodhi never having to tap in. As far as the vibes of the team, they were absolutely incredible the entire week. The team meshed beautifully, and the level of camaraderie we had during the week, through the wins and the losses, felt unbeatable. We had the perfect level of compete, but also have fun. I was even able to give a speech to the team before each breach to get them ready for war.
When it comes down to it, when destiny knocks on the goddamn door, we will refuse to not put out a welcome mat, because in moments like this, it makes the man. Fight by your brethren, do not look back, charge forward, and if you see a brick wall, then charge harder.
All in all, I'll always be grateful to have had the experience I had my rookie year. Number 2, what have I been up to since then? For the most part, I have been continuing to throw myself headfirst at the PvP learning curve. I spent most of the offseason getting a better understanding of the entire RuneScape sandbox, tightening up my switches, and just focusing on how to create, counter, and maintain momentum, while also understanding which situations are worth sending and which are worth escaping. Last All-Stars, I noticed I played very passively and scared, and even though it translated well to my KD, I think there were many situations I could have also taken advantage of, potentially adding even more kills for my team. I've also done a lot more multi and calling practice in case I'm needed as a backup caller for my team as well, focusing on how to tank better in multi and maintain good position while giving accurate and thorough calls. With how important breaches and multi sweeps are for All-Stars, I felt it necessary to put time into it this offseason. Finally, I also played so much of this past DMM Annihilation, doing a no swapping in or out run that led me to being able to build a complete max finale set from scratch, as well as being able to help clanmates with their sets as well. I spent most of the time that DMM in bracket 3, the 81 to 95 combat bracket, mainly because this bracket had insane DPS with Ruinous Prayers, and I wanted to challenge myself to get better at bank fighting, bank tanking, and being able to handle the insane momentum, speed, and DPS buff you get in DMM. I figured if I can be successful against the Giga Sweats in this bracket, I'll be more confident in playing my life in All-Stars with the sigil buffs. Outside of PvP, I did make a hardcore Iron Man that managed to get all the way up to 1900 total before getting hit a 96 on 96 while fletching at Wintertot. No further questions. Aside from the completely unavoidable death, the journey did really help me get an understanding of the current early game, including newer training methods and just a more efficient-headed mindset that I hope will translate well to my 120-hour cap for this competition. Now, pros and cons. Overall pros, I would say survivability, better understanding to read and react to high-stakes situations, ability to adapt wherever I'll be needed most for my team, and also having no problem in singles or multi-PKing situations. Overall cons. Alright. There is a couple things I want to bring up that is worth bringing up because acceptance is the first phase. Number 1, I am pretty ass against a Gmaul, specifically a Gmaul attached to speed, such as 3-tick range or whack doubles. I tend to get chanced more often than not in these situations, rarely even getting in a singly unless it's off PID. On PID, I'm pretty much a guaranteed chance, and it's something I've been actively working on, but it's been a tough battle if I'm being honest. Now, I don't know how much this applies in All-Stars because most times I got focused last year, it was versus VLS or Voidwaker, or something more for momentum that still had the ability to KO, but this is definitely something worth noting. Number 2, inconsistency. See, I'd always bet on myself if I knew it was me at my best, but there are some days where I swear, for one reason or another, I am just nowhere near. This is offensively and defensively. Sometimes my switches are just beyond terrible, and my prayer switching comes off as if I'm literally lagging in real life. Or even in a fight, I'll have a really strong start and then a really bad finish. If I'm feeling distracted or I'm not fully locked into something, I feel like my cruise control can be questionable at times and can even get me killed. If you were to sesh me 10 times in the PvP arena, I guarantee you'll feel like I switched hands one fight for no reason. With the constant long hours expected from All-Stars, there may be times where I probably won't be playing as well as I could, and it may lead to disaster. Once again, I'm actively working on this, and I am hoping the high stakes and opportunity of All-Stars will be enough to keep me elevated to the proper level at all times. Number 3, expectation. When I first got invited to All-Stars last year, my whole focus for my team going into it was to make sure to keep the vibes as immaculate as possible. Yes, this is a competition. Yes, I take it serious, but I also understand this is long days of non-stop pressure, and it can easily get to people, which can domino effect into team synergy, sometimes taking a hit. These moments in particular is where my only focus is to remind my teammates that at the end of the day, the show goes on. Just as we take the wins to the goddamn moon, we need to handle the losses with a head held high. And remember, we are content creators at the end of the day, so let's pick ourselves up and continue to put on the show I know we can put on. The truth is, the finale is gonna maybe last a few hours. Compared to 120 that we're gonna be spending together in a voice chat, it's very important to me to keep it fun. At the end of the day, we get to be a part of this game's history with this event, especially this year since it's the first ever live event in the US for old school RuneScape. Whether the run goes perfect or to complete shit, I want us to look back at our time together, not with animosity, but with fond memories of what we left in that server after it's all said and done. And my mindset going into this season is the exact same. So there you have it, captains. I don't know if this video will even help you at all decide where you would place me on your draft board, but I do hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it at least answered some questions that you may have had. I'll see y'all at the draft. Toodaloo!